So the escape route and the next destination is Wano. Question is, how do we get there? So obviously the most predictable part of this arc is the Vinsmoke showing up to actually help out Luffy and Sanji. And I have a question. If this looks like it's going to be a final farewell between Sanji and the Vinsmokes, or do you think it's possible we will see the Vinsmokes again before the end of the series? Because the same thing is going to happen with Katakuri. Because why would he ask Luffy, are you coming back to Hawkeye Island to defeat Big Mom? If it's not going to take place, unless Big Mom somehow goes down in this arc. But the Vinsmokes are kind of like a question mark. We didn't get to see Judge with Ichiji, Yonji, Niji, and Reiju, so he could have been on the fleet of German 66 ships that actually blew up the fleet that was under Commander Snack, or the former Yonko Commander Snack. So that could be a possibility. Or another possibility is he could be on Queen Plus Island awaiting Big Mom, because we know that's where the head Capote and the Fire Time Pirates are heading with the wedding cake, and they're not going to chuck it in the sea because like so much time and chapters were built into Sanji preparing that cake alongside pudding and chiffon. So they're trying to get far away from the ship as possible. I remember what Sanji said, we're going to make a cake that's going to make Big Mom faint. So if that turns out to be the case, you can expect Judge to play a role in doing something with Big Mom. Remember what Capone's whole plan was, assassination plot, was to assassinate Big Mom, to take her head. The original plans didn't play out with obviously the missiles. They could really put the screws and pull a twist, and they could have Big Mom assassinated. I know it sounds crazy, but it would make more sense than a couple of missiles getting the job done once he goes nuts over that cake. So something's going to happen in Chapter 900 with Big Mom. That's for sure. The Vinsmokes, I don't know. I do not think they're going to sacrifice themselves, especially not now. Even though the first reaction you get in this chapter is Sanji's going to take Luffy and go, but no. Because if he wanted to leave, he could have done that with Peckham's going through his too long transformation. He didn't abandon Peckham, so I don't think he's going to do that with the Vinsmokes. I'm hoping this leads to Vinsmokes, to the rest of the Vinsmokes and Sanji teaming up to take on, and it's going to lead to Oven versus Sanji. That's where it looks like it's heading, because they had Snack literally go on sea with a fleet, and they got to, most of them. The problem is you still have Smoothie blocking one way, so even if Sanji and Luffy do manage to make it back to the Sunny, they still got a Commander Smoothie awaiting them. So Katakuri could play into factors here, because I think we're going to see Katakuri again before this arc is concluded. I don't know, there's a lot that can happen going into Chapter 900. The Vinsmokes already arrived. I appreciate the cover page with Stanson, one of the new giant pirates, alongside Hirudini. We're going to get to see them all, I guess, before we actually head to Elbaf. I'm hoping we get to see a glimpse of Elbaf. You had Commander Oben awaiting Luffy, you had Sanji awaiting Luffy, you had the Straw Hats in the middle on the way to Cocoa Island, although Nami did say don't get too close. You had everybody's on pins and needles waiting for Luffy to come back to that mirror. By the way, I still think it's a stupid idea to keep that mirror, and this is coming back to them underestimating Luffy, but because they already said, oh, he's going to run away from Katakuri, he's going to lose this fight, but even if he does, we're going to make sure we're awaiting him. Little did they know that he already defeated Katakuri and had ally in Peckham. I'm kind of disappointed that Peckham's too long transformation was only there for stolen purposes, to allow Sanji and Luffy to leave, although they did technically leave. So I'm wondering what's going to happen to Peckham's, because he explained he can't control his transformation. Once he stares at the full moon, that's it. The only person who can snap him out of it is Pedro, and seeing as though he's MIA at this point, it makes sense why he was subdued, free to go on the rampage, and he could actually turn to be a problem for Luffy, because he can't differentiate friend from home, it would seem. So that's why Pedro is there to snap him out of it. In this case, he's not there. At least not right now, he's not. So that makes sense, even though I was kind of hoping for some feats from Peckham, given what we saw with Plum Carrots, but it doesn't matter. And it's like, I still get the feeling we could see Pedro again, because much like most of the Sharp family members, he could return the Zone alongside Pedro if he starts to be alive. But if not, then what's going to happen to Peckham's? Is he going to remain in that mode forever? So I don't think so. So something's going to happen with that. Suggested with the Vinsmokes, I think they're going to become allies to the Straw Hats, because, and yeah, it could be payback for what happened at the Teapot, but at the same time, they don't have emotions, remember? At least most of the Vinsmokes don't have emotions. So, I mean, we know how Reiji feels about Sanji, but what about the rest of the Vinsmokes? So, I'm getting the feeling there could be an alliance after this arc. This could hype up the final arc of the series. We could see the Vinsmokes again. I would not be surprised, given how popular these characters are. I definitely think we're going to see Katakuri again. Question is, what's he going to do before the end of it? So that's the big question I have. And like I said, it only makes sense if him getting in the way of Smoothie, because how the hell are they going to get away from her? Even if Luffy and Sanji do make it back to the Sunny, Luffy's passed out right now, so he can't do anything. Peckham's comes out. They actually think Peckham's is by himself. He has Brule with him. They actually shoot at Peckham's because now they realize, oh shit, we screwed up now because Peckham's is against us. He uses a Ceylon transformation. It looks pretty beastly, but it doesn't last long. Like I said, it's just a diversion for Luffy to escape. He jumps up, and it's similar to, I guess, the Marines on Elbap on Eni's lobby where he's surrounded. He jumps up, goes across the rooftops. In this case, he just jumps up to the roof, and he's met by Commander, I guess, Charlotte Raisin. In comes Sanji with Diablo Jumbo for the save. That was cool. But instead of taking off like they should have, they decided not to abandon Peckham's, which is cool. But I'm wondering why. Are they going to bring Peckham's back with them? Because right now he's out of his mind because he's still in that Ceylon transformation. So he could be KO'd because they did say, let's corner him and stab out his eyes. So he did take off the shade. So let's put some sunglasses back on him to stop him from using that transformation. That could be another way. It just depends on Oda, because these next few chapters are going to be key, and it's going to be crucial for Sanji. And I think that's the reason why Sanji's sticking around, is because he needs that 1v1. Oven's a perfect candidate at this point. You don't have Commander Snack, he's with the fleet. Like I said, both of those scenarios play itself out. You have the Vinsmokes with Sanji, and you have the German 66 helping out the Straw Hats. So on the Sunny. So that was kind of cool. By the way, I love the Straw Hats reaction on the Sunny when they finally hear that Luffy's at the mirror, especially in the armies. That was kind of cool. So they're like, yeah, he did it, we can leave. But no, because you still have Smoothie on one side. So like I said, somebody has to counteract her. So I think the only thing that makes sense is Katakuri. And like I said, I think it'd be kind of cool if we'll meet again, Sanji, but for now this is goodbye. So that could be what happens in chapter 900. Unless Pedro shows himself again, I don't know what's going to happen to Peckham's and his Ceylon transformation. Unless he still has those shades to block up his eyes for the full moon. So there's a lot of closure to be done, and obviously it's cool that it looks like Sanji and the Vinsmokes are going to team up to take on the Charlotte family, which I've been saying for I don't know how long it's going to happen. So I'm glad that's the case, and I'm glad Sanji is eventually going to get that when we've all been waiting to see this entire arc. And I do have a question. It's like we didn't see Pudding in this chapter either, and we know she had a last request for Sanji. We didn't get to see what that request was. If it was something bad, then Sanji would look a little more scared than he actually does, because when he was away, Luffy, he seemed pretty calm, pretty relaxed. So, and if it was a makeout scene, then Sanji would be gushing out all over the place. So that makeout scene could happen in chapter 900 if we see Pudding again. I think we will. We're probably going to see what that last request was. So kind of cool. Like I said, Pudding a lot like other characters in this arc have a lot more to offer in the series after this arc. It was seen the Vinsmokes and Katakuri. I definitely think we have not seen the last of after this arc. But let me know the escape route is in motion, and we know where our next destination is, heading for Wano, hopefully this year. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Like this review if you appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel for more One Piece. Catch you guys later.